All right, what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today I'm back with another video. The first video I have here of the World Junior Hockey Championships for 2021. The second time I'm covering this tournament and the Flyers prospects that are in it. This game last night was USA versus Finland, one of the two exhibition games last night in the exhibition play. There's only 4 exhibition games this year. There's 2 today. You have Canada playing Russia and Slovakia playing Czech Republic. Those are at 6 and 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. But again, last night you had Switzerland versus Austria, and then obviously USA Finland. 2 pretty good games, I should say. I thought the USA versus Finland game, really good game, to be honest. One thing I will say just before we kind of go into this, I do apologize for my voice. It's a little messed up. I was out with some friends last night and things like that, and I think I might have scratched my voice a little bit. But just to kind of get into this, couple notes to start off the game. York playing first pair D pair, and he was playing first pair or first power play unit too, I should say. Again, which is kind of what we expected. As I said last year, he's injured. He's the youngest defenseman, and he still played second unit power play. This year, he's done a really good job with Michigan with both of those. He's played first pair there with Michigan, and he's also played, the power play, and now, he gets his chance with the USA to shine in the World Juniors, and I thought he had a really good game last night, to be honest with you. He wore number 4. He was on, as I said, left-handed D1, and he was the captain for last night as well, even though USA does not have their leadership group, their USA's leadership group is not actually official yet. You don't know if it's going to be York. The other 2 that had the assistant captains were Cole Caulfield and Alex Turcotte, and then the other Flyers prospect, Bobby Brink, he was number 24 on the right wing too last night as well. So kind of just to start off, very early into the game, Kaliev takes a 2 and a 10, 2-minute. Checking from a high penalty and then a 10-minute misconduct. So that's 12 minutes of penalty time already, and that was at 19:28. So literally 30 seconds into the game, Finns get a power play. They end up getting a goal. Parson gets one here, 1-0 on a one-timer. It's just really crisp puck movement for the Finns. They've had a good power play for God knows how long in this tournament. I mean, literally every year they seem to find ways because of their power play and just their special teams. It's incredible. Really crisp puck movement. I said one timer, it looked like it kind of got fanned on, or looked like it deflected. But the replay, when they slowed it down, it just went right through Knight's legs. And I honestly thought it went through his arm. It went right through his legs and deflected up. So that made it 1-0 for the Finns there. It looked like all the momentum was kind of drifting toward Finland a little bit. They had a little bit of momentum from that power play. But USA just completely owned it after that. They had their first attempted shot, or York had his first attempted shot, probably their best chance of the first few minutes of that period at 16:26. Zegers had a 2-on-1. No goal, tried to shoot 5-hole, and the Finnish goaltender shut it down. They had a really fast-paced start for this one. It was again, first game for both teams. It wasn't necessarily kind of what I expected, but it was at the same time because, again, it's that first game, and it's like you want to get up to speed and things like that. I was kind of expecting those first few minutes just to be a little sluggish, a little bit sloppy play, but it was sloppy play at times, and it was more in the neutral zone, but I felt like it was just really fast-paced too. And this is really where USA time really just completely turned its tide on this first period. York, he had to break out the lead chance for USA in the 12-minute mark. At 8:16, they get their first power play of the period. They had 4 power plays this period, including a very long 5-on-3. So York was on the power play 1, as I said. He was the QB on that. York had a shot at 7:12, and then that was his second attempted shot of the period. I believe the first one got blocked. The power play 2, Brink is out there, and that was the power play. Brink was on the second unit. He had a shot at 7:08, so right off the face-off, they switched the units, and Brink ended up getting a shot. USA gets another power play at 5:16, so literally not even like a minute later, they were moving the puck, getting shots, no goals again. Second unit had a good chance as well. Power play again at 2:07, York was out there, and then at 2 minutes, there was another penalty for a high stick on Caulfield, and that was just a 2-minute minor, so that was a 5-on-3 for a minute 53, and USA finally gets one. They're moving the puck. Zegers and Caulfield are shooting left and right like it was absolutely nothing. And every shot is just, back and forth, and they're just trying to do everything they can to, try to score here, and they keep missing the net. And then finally, Boldy goes behind the net, He sends it in front to Kaliev, and he ends up scoring 5-all to tie this game at 1. USA literally owned the period from that point on. They completely owned it, really, after that. And again, I feel like all the power plays just killed all the momentum, because when you're killing penalties, you can't get out there. There's only certain guys that kill penalties and things like that. So they really owned the period. The shots after this period were 16-7 in favor of USA. To start the second, you had Wolf put in, since it was an exhibition. He ended up getting put in at the halfway mark of the period. So, Knight played the first 10 minutes, and then they split. So it was just a 30-minute split there for the goaltenders. And USA ended up getting 2 goals very early, both from Cole Caulfield. This kid is incredible. He had some really nice plays to actually get these goals too. The first one, it's an unbelievable pass from Zegras. I mean, he led the team last year in 9 assists, and it's a centered play in front where he sends it around, and Caulfield just continues to move. I mean, he just did not stop, and he moves, he finds himself in a great position, and he rips it. It's 2-1, and that was in 1856. 3-1, USA gets one here on a backhander, and the initial play was they went for a breakaway pass. It got sent all the way through, and it kind of deflected on the goaltender, and it ended up going wide off the boards. Caulfield was the first one to it because he was springing for the breakaway. He goes in, he tries to pick it up for the Michigan. He loses the puck. He ends up getting it back. Sanderson gets it at the point. He throws it down low for Caulfield. He sends it in front on a backhand on his knees and scores, and it's 3-1. It was an unbelievable shot. He was pretty much falling at the same time, but his hands were in the exact same spot as, he was just going to take a regular backhander, and he ends up scoring, and that makes it 3-1 there for USA. Pretty much all USA to start the second period. York ended up breaking up a 2-on-1 at 15-11. Finns ended up getting a power play here at 13-16. Ended up tying it. Excuse me. They ended up cutting the lead to 1 at the 3-2, and Niemela gets one shot from the point. Pretty much went through everybody. It looked like there was a screen in front. I didn't really think Wolf could see much there, but overall, it ended up being a 1-goal game here. And again, it was really a game where USA was pretty much dominating, but it was still only 3-2. USA was really getting their chances, crashing the net. Caulfield was all over it. USA gets another power play here at 4:58. Few chances, but no goals. York and Brink were out there again. Really good period for USA. They had lots of chances, 2 goals early. Caulfield absolutely dominated that period. He was the player of the game for USA after. He had 5 A+ chances in that one. Finland was just taking too many penalties. They couldn't really get that game flow because they were taking so many penalties. And overall, I thought they played good still because, again, it was only a 3-2 game. But shots in this period were 9-6 USA, and then just the total shots were 23-15. And back out to start the third period, pretty much a back and forth start. You had 4-on-4 at 17 minutes, kind of a little bit more open ice. It was a really solid game in the third. It settled down at that point. I feel like the Finns were really starting to pick it back up. They were starting to get their chances, moving the puck, things like that. The USA just didn't match their play in the period, and that was kind of for the first 2 minutes, kind of going to the halfway mark. I feel like the last 5 minutes of the game was all pretty much USA, and they were in Finland's end. And it was weird because literally the way that the game ended was that there was a timeout at 1:22 for Finland, and they just couldn't necessarily really pull the goaltender. They didn't get the goalie out until 40 seconds. And then they ended up having a shift where Turcotte and I believe it was Zegras who were down in the Finland end, and they were behind the net, trying to move the puck up, and there's 19.6 seconds left, and just going down. I don't really even think they ended up getting a shot, but overall in the third, York hit his third shot of the game, generated a couple chances, and that was pretty much probably his best. This was probably York's best shot of the period so far, because again, I think most of them that he had. I mean, I said the first one ended up getting blocked. Second one generated into a couple chances, but this one was a shot where it was just a quick snapshot. He got it off, and it was actually a pretty good rebound in front. The goaltender ended up picking it up. But overall, as I said, Finland, they called the timeout. Empty net at 40 seconds left, and they couldn't really get much going to even get zone time to set it up. But USA ends up winning this one. It was a really good game, fast-paced tempo from the start. Overall, I thought it was really good, to be honest with you. I really like how they have everything in the Edmonton bubble, too, because they still actually have, on the side where the camera faces the ice, And the only way you see it is if it's in the corner. They still have the NHL barriers over the seats, like where they had those big seat covers. They still have the NHL ones, which I thought was pretty cool. But on the other side, you have all the World Juniors ones and stuff, which was cool too. But overall, I mean, I thought York was really solid. He moved the puck really well and played a really smart game. He would look great on the power play. Brink, he wasn't really too noticeable. The thing is he's in the top 9 and things like that, so we're going to see more of him. But overall, he wasn't necessarily noticeable. He had a couple good plays. He had a hit early, and he had a couple good shots on goal, but not really much he could do because again you had all those power plays. And when you have a 5-on-3, when I honestly think that first unit was out there for the whole 2 minutes of the 5-on-3 because that's how much zone time they had. It's kind of tough to get some ice time. So overall, the shots after this period to end the game were 45-16 in favor of USA. It's a pretty good tempo, and it's a pretty good understanding of how USA has to play because again, Finland's good, but they aren't necessarily as good as a team like Russia and Sweden, who they both have they have to play those teams in the prelim games. So USA's schedule, it's kind of tough because you have Russia, then you have, I believe it's Austria, and then Czech Republic, and then Sweden. So it's kind of tough because you have some tough games. But overall, I still think it's going to be a pretty good tournament for USA. Let me know what you guys think below if you were able to catch the game and things like that. And again, I do apologize for my voice because, again, I said I was out with some friends and things like that, and I kind of scratched it a little bit. So I do apologize for that. But overall, let me know what you guys think below. Remember the podcast merch and things like that. You can get a bunch of stuff from the face masks and everything and the stickers and all that stuff. And there's also hats, hoodies, shirts, everything. So please, you can go check that out. The link is in my bio on my YouTube and on my Instagram. Remember, guys, podcast articles, those links are on my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.